Hey everybody, Ethan here. Welcome to Hello Road. So it's 2020 and I've got some new dumb projects, new crazy ideas, and new stupid vehicles to purchase. I figured I'd start off the year with a bang and try something that I've never tried before. Let's see if an idiot like me can figure out how to purchase a car at an auction. Let's go! Alright, yeah, so looking around here, as you can tell, I don't really need any more vehicles, but that's never really stopped me in the past, has it? So before we get into this video, this is not a how-to video. I'm just a stupid idiot that wants to do stupid things with stupid cars. If you really want to do this right, go watch some of Sam Crack's videos. But if you want to follow along and see a newbie try to figure it out, then keep watching. Okay, so many cars that are up for auction can be found through Copart. They have locations across the US. They've got crashed and salvage title vehicles, vehicles with hail damage, vehicles that have been vandalized, and what I'm interested in, clean titled cars that have never been wrecked. Maybe they were donated by somebody that didn't want it anymore, or maybe they were just repossessed by the bank. All right, so why am I buying a car at an auction? Last year, I sold my big stupid truck because I never really bonded with it, and I wanted to find something a bit more manageable than a huge lifted diesel truck, and also something that I could rent out on Turo when I'm not using it. So I'm looking for something that's full size, newer than 2008, since Turo has a 12-year limit on cars that are not considered classics. So I've started just by browsing around the Copart site, but in many cases, you need a dealer's license to buy a car at auction. So what do? I'm not a car dealer and I don't have a dealer's license. Maybe your friend has a dealer's license? If not, there are brokers that you can use that essentially purchase the car on your behalf and then charge you some fees for their service. There are a bunch of brokers that deal with Copart auctions. I ended up signing up for Auto Bidmaster because their search was the best out of all that I tried, and their fees seem pretty reasonable. So when you buy a car through a broker, you have to put a refundable deposit down to guarantee that you're gonna pay for the car. The larger the deposit you put down, the higher they'll let you bid on a car. Now, unfortunately, as a California resident, this state does not allow me to bid on vehicles that are located within California without a dealer's license. There are some expensive workarounds that I won't get into, so I'm pretty much going to limit my bidding to cars that are located in nearby states, so Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, so that shipping the car to me here in Los Angeles won't be too expensive. So let's start looking around at some trucks.
Days later.
All right, so it's a couple days later and I think I've found a truck that I want to bid on. It's a 2015 Ram 1500. It's a pretty simple truck, nothing too fancy, but judging from these somewhat terrible photos, it looks like it's in decent shape. I've only been looking at vehicles that are tagged as run and drive verified. Now that's a somewhat vague description. It could have a terrible engine knock, but still move under its own power, and it might still get tagged as run and drive. But I guess I'm just gonna cross my fingers as the mileage seems pretty low and it doesn't appear to have any damage. One other major consideration is that this truck is in Phoenix. The obvious downside to bidding on a truck that's in another state is that without a road trip, I'm not gonna be able to physically inspect the truck before I buy it. So yes, this could be very, very bad, but hey, it's a new year and I feel like taking a few risks this year. First, I'll run a few VIN checks to make sure that the truck isn't previously damaged. It seems clean. You can see that there's no previous damage reported, which is a good sign. I am pretty interested in this vehicle, so I'm gonna shell out a few bucks and go for a Carfax. And looking through the Carfax, this all comes back pretty good too. A few open recalls, which doesn't concern me too much. And nothing in the photos really leads me to believe that it was in an accident. I can't be absolutely sure, but I feel pretty good about it. Okay, let's try to buy this thing. I could bid now, and then the broker would submit my bid during the auction, but I think it would be more fun to participate in the actual live auction, which starts in just a few minutes.
A few minutes later.
All right, here we go. Wow, not many bids. It's starting at 12. It's starting at 12,000. Okay. All right, here goes. Holy crap! I actually won the truck. I actually won the thing. I actually won it. I kind of didn't think I was gonna win, and now I got a truck coming my way. Huh. All right. That's interesting. I thought there was gonna be a little bit more action on this truck, which makes me think, was there something wrong with the truck? I mean, I wasn't there at the actual live auction, and did people see some things that I didn't see? Huh. I hope not. I won the truck with a bid of $12,300. Depending on the condition, the truck could be worth anywhere between $17,000 to $20,000, so I feel like it was a pretty decent buy. I still have to pay the fees and the cost of shipping the truck, but I'm still hoping I came out okay. Next step is to pay for the truck. They only accept wire transfers, and if you don't pay on time, they charge storage fees. So I have to make sure that I pay this by tomorrow. So now we just wait. Hauling company says the truck will be picked up tomorrow.
The next day.
Okay, so here's an update. I just got off the phone with the hauling company and they told me that the truck would not move. Oh, what have I done? I bought a truck that won't move. Well, what does this mean? Is the engine damaged or is the transmission stuck in gear? Hopefully it's just a dead battery. So now it sounds like they're gonna go pick it up in a couple days. They needed a truck with a winch to do it, so now they're gonna charge me $75 extra to get a truck with a winch. And hopefully they'll grab the vehicle and it'll get here and it will just be a dead battery, I hope. Cross my fingers. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about this whole deal.
Days later.
All right, the hauling company just contacted me and said the truck will be here today. I'm pretty excited, but also nervous. Did I just buy a huge broken project truck? Let's find out. All right, here it is, the first vehicle that I've ever purchased at an auction. The car had to be rolled into the driveway because, as I mentioned, the car was supposed to be a run and drive car, but you know, I guess that's how things go at auctions. It's maybe what you're getting isn't always exactly what it seems. Not off to a great start with my first auction purchase. Maybe I should have started off with something a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier as my first auction purchase, but I didn't. So here we are. I've got my 2015 Ram 1500 in my driveway, not moving. But we're gonna see if we can get it running today. Hopefully it's just the battery, maybe it's out of gas, we'll see. So as it goes, buying a car at an auction, sight unseen, there's a lot of things that look slightly different than it did in the photos. Let's take a close look at the vehicle and see if we can find some little details that I didn't notice in the photos. There's probably gonna be a few of them. First off, it's filthy. I knew it was gonna be dirty, but I didn't expect it to be this dirty. And doing this first walk around, I've already discovered a small issue on the front bumper. This little piece right here, this trim piece is loose. Hopefully it can just be snapped back into place, but I didn't notice that in the photos. Other than that trim alignment, the front end actually looks pretty decent. I don't really see much of a problem here. All right, so walking down the side of the truck, it's in pretty good shape. I don't really see any scratches. The paint looks pretty decent underneath all of this dirt. Not so bad, at least here on the passenger side. Yeah, a couple small little dents in the bumper, not a big deal. All right, so this is something that I definitely did not notice right here, this little dent. Yeah, it's gonna annoy me. I'm gonna wanna try to fix that. All right, let's take a look in the bed here. What's all this crap? Bunch of random crap. Oh, you know, just a fender from some other car. Because if you want to do some fishing, bag of trash. I'm gonna file this little dent in the I didn't see it in the photo category. The photos they have for auction vehicles are pretty terrible. It's something that I didn't expect. But other than that, this side of the truck looks pretty decent too. Just really dirty. Okay, well, let's open this thing up and see what it looks like inside. All right, it's pretty dirty in here. It's not terrible, but yeah, it's a little gross. I mean, I definitely expected it to need a little bit of work, a little bit of cleanup. This is gonna require a little bit more cleanup than I had originally anticipated. Carpets are filthy. It's got a fair amount of dust buildup just from sitting. The seat fabric is not terrible, but again, yeah, just lots of cleanup this is gonna require. It's not like biohazard level, but it's approaching that. Oh yeah, the back is a little bit more gross. What is that? I hope that's just ketchup. Little bits of foam here, making me think that maybe there were rats in here at one point. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. A few disgusting things here and there, but I think I'm fine with how that looks. I think I can clean that up pretty easily. But really what we need to get to right now is why won't this thing start? Let's see if we can just jump it. All right, so it'll run for about a second and then it turns off. Let me actually try jumping it from an actual vehicle. All right, let's give it a shot. Service electronic throttle control. Okay. I do think there's absolutely no fuel in this thing. Let's try one more time. Just a click. Oh, the check engine light's going, that's great. We're getting a slew of warnings on the dashboard, including low fuel, so why don't I go grab a gallon of fuel and dump it in here and see if that helps at all. Maybe I have to just go grab another battery too. Okay, we got some gas and a new battery. Let's make this thing run. All right, what do you think? What are the chances that this thing actually starts? Oh, it's lighting up. Something's looking happy here. Let's see. It's running! It's running! Oh, I'm so glad it was just such a simple thing. Whew, my first auction car. That's really cool. Well, you look at that, it's actually running. And it seems to be running pretty well too, considering that this car probably hasn't been started for a very long time. All right, before I get ahead of myself, let's just make sure this thing actually drives. It started, it runs, but just to make sure this transmission works. I am incredibly glad this thing's running. I know that may not seem like a big deal to many of you watching, but to me, that's incredibly exciting that this vehicle moved under its own power. I was very worried when the transport company contacted me and said this truck was not running, was not starting, but to see it actually move and it was a simple fix, just gas and a battery, maybe this truck will actually end up turning out to be a good deal.
Okay, now that the truck is running and I'm no longer filled with anxiety, let's go through some numbers. All right, so here's how much all of this cost me. The purchase price of the vehicle, like I mentioned, was $12,300, which was quite a bit lower than the Blue Book value for this truck, but then you have to factor in some of the fees. The Copart auction fee was $838. That's kind of a lot. They also charge a transaction fee, which was $738, and then you gotta pay the documentation fee, which is $85. And then the broker that I'm using, they charge $300 for their premium membership. They have a few different memberships. I paid for the premium membership because I think I might be purchasing another auction car in the future. We'll see. So next up, they estimated me $621 to ship the vehicle, and then they charged me another $75 for shipping because they needed to come back with a truck with a winch, and then I had to pay a $5 storage fee. So overall, when you count all the fees and shipping and everything, I paid $14,960 for this truck, which is still not terrible. Factor in $169 for that battery, and then so far I've spent just over $15,000. If I was a dealer trying to sell this car, that probably wouldn't be a great profit margin, I don't think. But who knows? It's still a fair amount less than the Blue Book value of this car, which is anywhere between $18,000 and $21,000. So what I've found is that an idiot like me can buy a truck at an auction. If you're an idiot, maybe you could buy one too. I still don't know if it was a good financial decision, as there could be more things wrong with the truck that I haven't found yet, but overall, you can do it. It's not terribly difficult. So more videos on this truck coming soon, and now I gotta go clean that filthy thing. So I'll see you later.